everyone, welcome back to the series of tutorials on C++. I am Deepak Nial and here we are discussing about STL. And specifically if we talk about STL, we were discussing containers in previous lecture, and as the lectures were very lengthy, so we left it at that moment, and now we are going to discuss it in bit more detail and going to proceed further for the associative or non-linear containers. So let's begin with the associative or non-linear containers. They are different from the linear or sequence containers as they don't store elements in a sequential order, but they locate elements stored in containers very quickly. And such containers can store sets of values of key value pairs. Example of such kind of containers are set, map, multiset, and multimap. There are two versions of associative containers where data is sorted by keys and another where data is not sorted by keys. You can call other as unsorted associative container, but you have to just put unordered in front of every container and you are done. So let's suppose you have set, map, multiset and multimap here. You have to make another which is unsorted container or unsorted associative container like this, unordered and then underscore, and you have to put this thing in front of every container. Alright, so for example, this set will become unordered underscore set. Similarly, map will become unordered map. This will become unordered multiset, and this will become unordered multimap. So let's discuss the map first, and then we can discuss some of the other things. So maps are used to replicate associative arrays. Maps contain sorted key value pair, something like this. So in the first column, it will have some key, and in the second part, it will have some values, right? And in this whole key value pair set, each key will be unique. So you can't have one key at two places. Suppose you have one here, so you can't have one here, right? So you need unique values. So I am making another one for you. So suppose you have one here, you could have two here, three here, and four here. The first one is keys and another values. So all these keys are unique and you can't change them, right? But you can obviously insert a new key. Suppose you want to insert a new key 5 here, so you can insert here, right? And if you want to delete one key, you can delete. Suppose you want to delete 5, so you can delete so, right? But if you want to change the value, you will not be able to do so. Suppose these have some values. Suppose one has value C++, two has Python, three has C, four has Java, and five has JavaScript. It means one has value associated C++. So what if you want to change C++ to some other language, maybe PHP? So will that be possible? And answer is yes, it is possible. But if you want to change this one, it is not possible, right? It's very easy to insert, search, or remove something from the map, right? So its complexity will be very less. So these containers are going to be very helpful. And now how do we implement all these? You can again include a header file for this, include map, and you are done, right? So it's very easy. Now how can you initialize or declare a map? You have to write map, then you have to write type of key, so it's key type, and then type of value that you want to put here, and then finally map name, so it will be a variable name, right? And why do we have separate key type and value type? As you have seen here, we have keys of integer type, but we have values of string type, so we could have multiple types here. Even if you want to have integer and integer, that is also possible. So this is going to create a map with key of type key type and value of type value type. One thing that you have to remember here is that key of the map and corresponding values, they both are inserted as a pair. So you cannot insert only key or just a value in the map. You can't do like this. Suppose you have a map something like this. One has value C++. So if you want to insert only 2 and no value with it, it's not possible. And it is not possible if you want to insert C here as a value but no key with it. So both these cases are rejected here, right? Only this is possible. Now try to create some more maps here. So I want to create a map having key and value both as integer. Name of map is mp1. You can also initialize it in this line. So I will have 1 2. It means key as 1 and 2 as value. Similarly 2 3 and 3 4. So this line is going to create a map which will have values like this: 1 2 2 3 and 3 4. You can create another map having a string as key and integer as value. And if you want to name it, you can name it mp2. Then you are not initializing it here, right? Like you initialize mp1, but you can provide some values to this map. And how is that possible? So you can do mp2 then string abc, and if you want to assign some value like 100, you can do like this: mp2 then some other key which is bcd and then 200. So this will be a map like this: abc 100 and bcd 200. Clear? So now you have seen we have created two maps here. There are some other ways to create maps. One thing you can do, you can create a map of string and int as you have done above. But in this case, I want to create mp3 variable which is same as mp2. So what I have to do, I have to pass two iterators here. One is mp2 dot begin and mp2 dot end. Right? So it's basically taking first value from this map and last value of this map, and it is basically picking all the values in this range, right, and assigning all these values to the mp3, right? So that's how you are assigning map from one map to another map. You have some another way so that you can assign a map to another map. So how can you do that? I am again creating another map which is having key of string type and value of int type and naming it as mp4, and then I'm passing mp2 in mp4. So what it is going to do, it will make mp4 same as mp2. So both these things are doing same task. Clear? Now we have some operators available here. One is at, one is this square bracket, and both of these are used to access the elements of these maps. So you can use mp, mp1 dot at and ith index if you want to access. If you want to do same task using this square bracket, so you have to do something like this: mp1 and I. So basically it's not accessing first element or ith element. This I should be key and this I should be key of this map. Clear? It was different in the case of array or vector, but here in this case it's not index but it is key, right? Now we have some other functions like empty, size and max size, and all these functions are similar to the functions that we have discussed previously in the arrays and vectors. Now we have some other functions like insert. So this function is a bit different. It first check whether given key is already present in the map or not. If it is present, the entry is not inserted in the map. And iterator to the existing key is returned. Otherwise, a new entry is inserted in the map. So something like this. Suppose we have 1, 2, 3. These are keys and we have some values like C, C++ and JS. And if you want to insert like 1 and Java, then it will check this map and it will find that 1 is already there, so it is not going to insert it, right? So it will return iterator to the existing key. So it will return iterator to this key. But if we try to do this 11 and Java, then it will see that 11 is not present there, and it will create some new space here and put 11 and Java. Clear? But there are two ways of doing all these things. So one variety of this function is insert, and you can pass pair. So a pair of key and value is inserted in the map. The inserted pair is always inserted at the appropriate position as keys are arranged in the sorted order. So if you pass 11 Java, it will put it at the end, right? So we are just passing pair here. We'll learn later in this tutorial that what do you mean by pair. And another variety that we have here is we need to pass start iterator and end iterator. So it inserts the entries in the range defined by the start iterator and the end iterator of the another map. Alright. So it basically does following thing. Now there is one more function which is insert underscore or assign. So it works exactly as insert except that if the given key is already present in the map, its value will be modified. So suppose in this case, if we pass 1 and Java, so insert or assign is going to search 1 here in this map, and if it finds 1, as we have already found 1 here, it will change this C to Java, right? So this is function of insert or assign. Clear? Now try to see some more examples in the map. You can create a map like this map int int which we already did, and then you can assign some new values here like 1 2 2 3 and 3 4. Clear? Now if you want to insert some new values here, you can do something like this insert, then you have to make a pair. We will discuss this pair in detail in later part of this tutorial, but as of now you can understand that we are creating a pair here using this kind of format, and then we have to pass two values as I want to insert two values here. So what this is going to do, this line is going to insert a key value pair having key as 4 and value as 5 in the map M, right, that we declared here. Clear? You can also insert the values in this map in another way, like using this function insert, but now you have to use another function make pair. So we need to pass some values in this function like 5 and 6. This is again going to create a pair as we have here, and then it is going to insert the key value pairs like 5 and 6 in this map. Clear? Now if we look at this whole process, you will find out that we have something like this. We have 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 5 and 5 6. Now just try to do one thing. I am trying to insert some value here using make pair function, and I am passing 3 and 6 here. So can you guess the answer what it should do? So I hope you already guessed the answer. It is not going to insert the pair as map already contain a key having value 3. Alright? But if you want to insert or if you want to change this value to 6, you have to use another function insert or assign, right? And then you have to again call this function make pair and pass values from here 3 and 6. Now this is going to change it. It will make it 4 to 6. Clear? So I hope now you got an idea about insert function in detail. One thing that I want to tell you that if you want to use this pair function, there is some another header file for this called utility, and using this header file you can use this pair template or make pair function. Clear? Now let's discuss some more functions of the map, and the function that we are going to discuss here is erase and clear. So what this erase does, this will remove the entry from the map pointed by the iterator, which is passed as a parameter we are going to discuss right now. But if you want to remove all the elements from the map, we can use the clear function. It will clear the map and sets its size to 0, right? So let's talk about erase and clear functions now. Erase is going to remove all the entries from the map that are pointed by the iterator, which we are going to pass as parameter. However, if you want to remove all the elements from the map, we can use clear function. It will clear the map and set its size to 0. So there are basically two variations of erase function. One is erase and then iterator here, and another is erase start iterator and end iterator. So this first variation remove the entry from the map pointed by the iterator passed here, and it will reduce the size of map by 1. Whereas this another function which has two parameters start iterator and end iterator, it removes the elements in the range specified by these iterators, right? Now we have some more functions here that we have seen previously in other containers also. One is begin, another is end, and the final function that we are going to discuss here is find. So all of these functions returns an iterator. Begin will return an iterator to the starting entry of the map and will return an iterator next to the last entry of the map, and find will return an iterator to the entry having key equal to the given value. Alright, so there is a way to declare iterators. We'll learn this later, but for the sake of completion, you can understand it here. When you want to declare an iterator of type map, you can write it like this, and then we have two iterators I and j. And if you want to find out key 1 or maybe 2 in the map m, you have to use this function, and this is going to return an iterator which can be stored in I, right? So this will point to the entry having key 2, and if you want to do something like this, this is going to point to the entry having key 5. So this was all about the maps and associative or non-linear containers. There are other kind of ordered and unordered associative non-linear containers that we are not going to discuss here because lecture is too lengthy till now, and we have lot of things to discuss because we want to discuss container adapters in next lecture now. So I will stop it here. If you have any doubt or query regarding any of these things that we have discussed till now, you can always ask me in the comments and I will try to respond back as soon as possible. I'm sure that you will find this content interesting and try to implement all these things in your programming. All right. So I think it's enough for this lecture. See you in the next video. Till then, thank you so much.